The San Francisco 49ers are one of those teams that they just always seem to get it done. They always seem to find a way to be able to win some of these games, and honestly, I don't want to say they're one of the more shocking teams in the NFL, but let's be real here. They are one of those teams that, just like we said, they've got the defense. They can always run the football. Jimmy G always has this team in a position to win the football game, and it's kind of one of those things where, okay, you know what, you can't doubt the 49ers anymore. You have to give, put a lot of respect on the 49ers, especially for what they bring each and every single day, because they are that team. They are that team that's going to continually find a way to win the game, whether it's on the shoulders of their running game or Jimmy G. It does just enough to be able to pull it out for them. So, or their defense or special teams if you want to watch the Packers game. But overall, this team is looking like legitimate contenders yet again this year. I know the whole quarterback situation might have some people worried or some people thinking twice, but this is going to be very interesting overall. So let's get right into it for our 49ers record prediction. So we can see the schedule here. Week 1 at the Chicago Bears, going to be in my mind, the perfect way to kick off the season. You want to talk about the Chicago Bears coming to the point where, honestly, that might be the worst team of football other than the Houston Texans. The Texans are looking good too. So the Chicago Bears could legitimately be the worst team in all of football. So you go to Soldier Field on the 11th here, 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and so I do think that the Chicago Bears, they will have this year to kind of. They won't be very good, but I do think they could turn things around pretty quickly if they make the right moves next offseason. But week 2, obviously it's a win over the Bears. Week 2 over the Seattle Seahawks here. I think it's a win at home, 1 o'clock or 1:05 Pacific Daylight Time starting time. I do think the Seattle Seahawks are going to be one of those teams, like, if they can find a good quarterback. I mean, we saw it for years. Russell Wilson was able to finally get it done, and or was able to continually carry this team. I do think that if the Seattle Seahawks can get a respectable quarterback in there, they will yet again be, they'll always be in the mix. Week 3 at the Denver Broncos at Mile High Stadium here. This is a Sunday night game, 5:20 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time starting time here. So, that is going to be really interesting. You talk about Russell Wilson and everything kind of going on for him. But, I do think I have this as their first loss of the season. The Broncos could be dangerous. They could be very dangerous. That defense, I've got some questions. That offensive line, still kind of waiting on, everything to fully come together. But I do think the Broncos could be tough down the line. Week 4 at home against the Los Angeles Rams here. I believe this is the first game of the is this the first game that of the NFC West? I'm not sure. Oh no, I think it's the Seahawks. Anyway, point is, Monday Night Football against the defending Super Bowl champions at Levi Stadium. This is the big time stuff. You're excited for it, but I do think the Rams are one of those teams that they just they're tough, but this is a home game for the 49ers. I think they're able to kind of put, the whole shock the nation bit on it. I think they're able to get a win against the Rams, and things are looking up absolutely. Then we go into week 5 here at the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are one of those teams that they're all. It seems like every not top tier team in the NFL is only a quarterback away, but the Panthers really are one of those. Teams that if they can get a quarterback, they could be a very respectable team. But this game at Bank of America Stadium here, I have this as a win for the 49ers. Game starts at 1:05 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Next week, this is at Mercedes-Benz Stadium at the Atlanta Falcons. They're at the Atlanta Falcons here. I'm sorry, I had a little bit of I thought this was at the Saints, but I apologize. That's a little bit later on during the season. So, week 7 at the Atlanta Falcons here. The Falcons, honestly, once Calvin Ridley gets back from his suspension and, they get, if Desmond Ridder is the guy, they could actually be pretty tough. But for now, I do think that this is going to be a win for the 49ers here, and they start off the season 5-1. Things are looking pretty up and up. Week 7 versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to be a tough team. Clearly, they're going to be in the mix for the AFC, but, I do have the Chiefs winning here. The game starts at 1:25 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, but overall, at Levi Stadium here, it might be a close one, especially if the 49ers are able to run the football, kind of drain some clock and take the football away. from a guy like Patrick Mahomes. But overall, I do think it will be interesting, but I think they fall at home to the Kansas City Chiefs. Week 8 at the Los Angeles Rams at SoFi Stadium, 1:25 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, starting time here. So I think the Rams finally get one here, or I shouldn't say finally, they get one here against the 49ers. This is going to be a really close division, to be honest with you, with these two teams. But then they head into the bye. Things aren't looking bad. 5-3 could be a lot worse. And then they come out Week 10 versus the Los Angeles Chargers. And I do think they find a way to get a win here. This one's at home. This is kind of a Sunday night game, 5:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time starting time here. So, I do think this is going to be a win for the 49ers. And I think that the Chargers are going to be a tough team. But I still question, I know they made a lot of moves with their defense. But, it is one of those things. Once we get into the season, we can kind of actually look at these teams and see how good they're going to be. Week 11, at the Arizona Cardinals here. This one, the Cardinals, I believe obviously they'll have this, at this point, they'll have Nuke Hopkins back. This one will be interesting, though. The Arizona Cardinals are going to be tough down the line. And I do think that is, that this offense is going to come together. This defense has some pieces. So I think the Cardinals get a win here on Monday Night Football, 5:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, starting time here. So Cardinals are tough, and I think that they get one against the 49ers. Week 12, the 49ers are back home at Levi's Stadium against the New Orleans Saints, 1:25 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, starting time here. The Saints are interesting to me overall with Jameis and everybody, but man, I just really feel like the 49ers are going to get a win here against the Saints. Week 13 at 1:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, starting time here. Another home game, 3 straight home games here for the 49ers. So that'll be good. But, the Miami Dolphins are one of those teams. Tua, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, possibly one of the best deep games in the NFL if they can get things clicking. But I do think that the 49ers are too much. I think they're able to run the football, do their thing, and take care of it here. Week 14, last game at home, of this 3-game stretch versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs, I don't care what anybody says. They just signed Akeem Hicks. Their defense is looking tough, and they got Tom Brady. I've stopped counting Tom Brady out. I've learned from my mistakes, and I think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be looking to lock up this division. The NFC South towards the end of this year. So yeah, Week 14 at home against the Bucs. I do think they drop that game. Week 15 for the 49ers at Seattle. I think again they're probably going to sweep the Seahawks. Thursday night game here at Lumen Field. I think the Seahawks might not be coming off a short week. Maybe they will. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, I do think that they go into Lumen Field and are able to get it done. And, excuse me. Haven't had my coffee yet. I'm sorry. But, Seattle Seahawks here do get a win. And I do think that, the 49ers get a win over the Seattle Seahawks, and they do split those games up. So, let's see here. So, Week 16 versus the Washington Commanders. I had to really say that one slow because I was not sure. But overall, Washington's going to be interesting, but I don't know what to expect. Is Carson Wentz that guy? Terry McLaurin, is Jahan Dotson? Are these guys going to be in? I don't know. But overall, I had my questions about a guy like Carson Wentz, and I do think that the 49ers get a win versus Washington in Week 16. That game starts at 1:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Then the 49ers are on the road at Allegiant Stadium versus the Las Vegas Raiders here. The Raiders are tough. I think they're going to be really vying for playoff spots this late in the season. I think the Raiders get a win here. And then the 49ers head into Week 18 at home against the Arizona Cardinals. This is kind of the way you want it. This game has not been announced. Obviously, I think it's because of flex times and all that, but overall, the 49ers do get a win here, finish the season 11-6, and I think they're going to be one of those teams that could be potentially pretty dangerous. We talk about all the different things that they bring in terms of running the football. Defensively, they're pretty solid. So the 49ers are going to be tough, and I think it's going to be a very interesting season. But that's it. That's our 2022 San Francisco 49ers record prediction. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. Greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome, and we love every single one of you. In the description down below, you'll find all of our social media platforms, so give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about our 2022 San Francisco 49ers record prediction.